Hey YouTube, this is going to be part 5 of our $120 Ender 3 Pro video. I do want to stop for a second and say that I hope everyone is doing well. This is a pandemic like we've never seen before happening, and it's ruining people's lives. People are losing their job. People are getting sick and dying. It's a terrible thing. So I hope all of you guys are being safe, practicing social distancing, staying at home, watching YouTube videos, spending time with your family. So with all that said, we'll get to everything right after this. Okay guys, so we're back on our Ender 3 Pro assembly video, loosely considered assembly video, since I'm a little bit haywire with what I'm doing, especially since this was a budget Ender 3 Pro that possibly got some damage. So the next step actually tells you to install this piece, which we're on step 7. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and slide on my hot end assembly. So here's my extruder assembly. You want to make sure this is facing away from you, but you want the fan on your hot end assembly facing towards you. I'm going to go ahead and slide that down on this rail. And now that it's on the rail, I'm going to go ahead and attach this piece. So you can see you've got a hole right here for the bolt to set, and it's going to go right in this little hole right here. So then we're going to use 2 of these, what's the size, M4x16 screws to go down in here, and they will go in from the side of the carriage assembly. So we'll get both of those started. Snug them up. Again, making sure to not over tighten. Now we can go ahead and hook our belt up to our extruder. Or I apologize, not to our extruder, to our hot end. So I'm just going to run my belt underneath from the top side, pull it through to the underneath, and there are 2 little tabs that your hot end assembly is going to catch with your belt. They're going to catch the little crimps that are on the end. Actually, I have something out of alignment here. So what happened here, guys, was I accidentally had this over the outside of this plastic housing. You want to make sure that does not happen. That can happen very easy. And if that happens, you're going to be trying to figure out what happened to your printer. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this now. I'm just going to fish it out from the underneath and get it into the channel to where it should be. Because the last thing you want to do is be pulling your hair out trying to figure out what happened just because you missed something simple like that. Okay, so now that our belt is all installed, the next step is it wants us to install our tensioner. So we're going to take our tensioner and we're going to loosen it up. Again, it's got the M-lock nuts or T-nuts or what have you, whatever you want to call them. We'll loosen both of those up. We'll slide them in here to the rail. And we'll make sure that our belt's going to ride on these bearings. And we'll get this assembly all in here. And for right now, all I'm going to do is snug it up. We are going to want to tighten it. But for now, I just want to be able to get everything assembled. So you want your belts to be about guitar string tight. That's the way I like mine. I think that yields the best print results. So make sure when you feel the tension on your belts, they're fairly tight. If your belts are loose, it's going to cause problems with your printer. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and run our assembly down onto our Z-rod. So in order to do that, we're going to just set everything up here like so. And we're going to get it started down on here, and we're going to make sure our Z-rod feeds into our extruder assembly right there. Now you want to make sure that this moves fairly easy. If you guys go to run this down and you feel like you're really having to torque on this, you more than likely need to loosen these two screws that are right here. Once you've got these loosened, this thing should turn a lot more freely. So you kind of need to adjust those to get your Z-rod to move up and down. I mean, you should be able to do it with your finger just like that without a whole lot of effort. You don't want it too loose, but you don't want it too tight. So you might have to adjust that accordingly. I'm going to go ahead and run this down a little bit so I've got room to work on everything else that has to do with the top. And that's about it for this video. So we'll see you guys again next week. And until next time, you guys take it easy. Keep on printing.